It was one of those nights that felt colder than winter had any right to be. The streets were empty, the buses delayed, and the snow just kept falling, layer after layer, as though the city itself wanted to swallow up the people who dared to walk outside. And there she was, sitting at the bus stop bench, shivering through her thin jacket, hugging herself like she could hold back the icy wind. Her hair was damp from the snow, her hands red from the cold, and yet her eyes told a story, tired, but not defeated. She was a nurse, just finishing a grueling double shift at the hospital. And that night, fate had other plans for her, because when a sleek black car pulled up and the tinted window rolled down, the man inside, the kind of man who could buy the whole street if he wanted to, looked at her and said the words that would change everything: "You're coming with me." His name was Adrian Cole, known in the business world as a ruthless CEO, the kind of man whose face graced magazine covers under headlines like "Self-Made Millionaire" and "The Man Who Never Stops." To most people, he was untouchable. But that night, he wasn't the cold-hearted executive everyone thought he was just a man who couldn't drive past a woman shivering alone, waiting for a bus that might never come. At first, she refused. Pride and fear built a wall around her. "I don't know you," she said through chattering teeth, clutching her small bag. "And I don't need saving." But Adrian wasn't asking. His voice was firm, but not unkind. "I'm not letting you freeze out here. Get in. Now." And in that moment, when another icy gust whipped through the empty street, she made her choice. She got in. The warmth of the car was like stepping into another world. Her fingers slowly began to thaw as she pressed them against the heated seat. Adrian handed her his own scarf, still smelling faintly of his cologne, and for the first time that night she felt like maybe, just maybe, she wasn't invisible. They didn't speak much on the drive. She was embarrassed, her eyes cast down, while he kept glancing at her, noticing the weariness etched into her features. Finally, he asked her name. "Emily," she whispered. And when she asked him why he stopped, his answer was simple: "Because you look like no one else would." What Adrian didn't know was that Emily's story was heavier than her tired smile revealed. She had been supporting her younger brother ever since their parents passed away. She worked long shifts, sometimes skipping meals, always putting others before herself. The night Adrian found her, she had given her last bit of money to buy medicine for a patient who couldn't afford it. That was Emily, selfless to the point of breaking. And yet, she never complained. Adrian, on the other hand, was living in the opposite world. He had everything: mansions, cars, power, but nothing that truly warmed him. His success had built walls around him, isolating him from genuine connection. The people he met wanted his wealth, his name, his influence. But no one wanted him. Until that night at the bus stop. He took Emily home, not to his glass-walled penthouse in the sky, but to the smaller, warmer home his late mother once lived in, a place he rarely visited but kept because it reminded him of the only person who ever loved him unconditionally. She hesitated at the door, still unsure, but when he opened it and the smell of old wood and lavender drifted out, she felt safe. He cooked her a simple meal: eggs and toast, the only thing he knew how to make, and for the first time in months, Emily ate slowly, without rushing, without guilt. The days that followed were not a fairy tale, but something more real. Emily's pride made her want to leave. "I can't just stay here," she told him, standing by the door with her bag. But Adrian stopped her with a quiet truth. "You're always giving to others. Just this once, let someone give to you." That broke something in her, because no one had ever said those words before. Their worlds began to intertwine, messy at first, like oil and water. Adrian brought her into his fast-paced life, showing her meetings, offices, the kind of luxury she never dreamed existed. But Emily grounded him. She reminded him that life wasn't just deals and numbers, it was about people. She visited his employees, asking about their families, noticing things Adrian had never bothered to see. She showed him the heart behind the company he had built, and for the first time, Adrian began to question if wealth without compassion was worth anything at all. But challenges came. People gossiped: what was a millionaire CEO doing with a nurse from the other side of town? Adrian's board members warned him she was a distraction. And Emily herself struggled with feeling out of place, like she didn't belong in his world. One night, overwhelmed, she told him, "I'm not good enough for this. I'll never fit in with people like you." Adrian's reply was firm, almost fierce: "Emily, don't you see? You're the only one who makes me feel human." Without you, none of this means anything. The turning point came when Emily's brother fell seriously ill. She was terrified. Hospital bills, surgeries, everything seemed too much. But Adrian stood by her side. Not as a CEO with money, but as a man who cared. He stayed in the hospital with her, held her when she cried, and whispered, "You're not alone anymore. We'll get through this. Together." And they did. Her brother recovered, and Emily finally allowed herself to see Adrian not as a savior, but as a partner, someone who had found her at her lowest and refused to let her go. By the end, their story wasn't about riches or status. It was about two broken souls who found warmth in each other, one who gave endlessly until she had nothing left, and one who had everything but was empty inside. Together, they filled the spaces in each other's hearts, and the message they left behind, the one worth remembering, was this: sometimes, love finds us not in grand gestures or perfect moments, but in the quiet, unexpected nights when someone refuses to let us face the cold alone, because when Adrian said, "You're coming with me," what he really meant was, "You're not going to fight this world by yourself anymore. Not as long as I'm here."